Hey, it's Elizabeth here. So I'm gonna do just this quick little video. I left a cafe, a bar a little bit ago somewhere. I'm like just under 6 miles to Caldas, and see, you could see some of the scenery behind me. And I am now less than 55 kilometers to Santiago. It's crazy because I remember seeing the signs, you know, closer to Porto that were like 230 kilometers, and it's like, oh my God, I'm getting closer. It's super weird. I can't imagine living without this bag or waking up the next day and, you know, not having to walk anywhere. So I have today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But anywho, I left a cafe and I met 3 German girls. They're from Potsdam, so that's south of Berlin, and it has a little bit of its roots are nearby. I'm 53.8 kilometers away from Santiago. They have a little bit of its roots near Einstein and his cabin. It's funny because I actually applied for a fellowship to live in Potsdam. I didn't get it, obviously. So anyways, they were asking me if why I was there, and I said, oh, it's because of my ex-husband, and they asked if I liked Germany and Germans, and I said, yeah, and you could just see the smile on their face. I think they really appreciated that. And, I told them, I said, if somebody handed me a key and said you have to live in America or Germany, like, I would probably choose Germany, and they were really shocked by that. And I just said, I think it's one of these things that people like what they don't have, or the grass is always greener. I said, when you're an American and you're overworked and stressed out, and you have all these like crazy rent prices that you have to pay, going to a little German or European village or town or city is actually kind of nice, because it's affordable. Life is not as stressful. And I could kind of sense, like, I think they would probably prefer to live in America. So it was interesting to have that little bit of a conversation with them. And yeah, I think it's always these things, we want what we can't have, or the grass is always greener on the other side. And, life in Germany today is not exactly 100%, perfect or amazing by any means, but, they have certain quality of life opportunities that are a lot better than certain things in America. And, yeah, it was just like a cute little conversation. And I picked up this shell necklace for €10 from a cafe that I meant to stop to get a coffee in, and there's a little guy who hand makes these necklaces, and I bought a shell that has 2 parts to it. The centerpiece comes out, so I don't know if I can really show you that on this video, but it's just these little tokens of, I don't know, Galicia, and just conversations with people in general. I think in terms of the most popular cultural group that I've met on this trip so far have been Germans. They are the most populated people here, and I think a lot of this has to do with the German economy is, well, now there's some problems because of the migration crisis. There's problems, but in terms of Europeans, Germans are actually pretty well off. Similar to the Brits, their money goes a lot further. The British pound goes a lot further, especially in the Eastern European countries. So when you're converting things to like the Polish zloty or the Czech kroner, obviously, the Brits can like drink a beer for like 1.5 pounds. But anyways, so yeah, it's just amazing because you don't, when you go through Europe, you don't see a ton of Southern Europeans traveling. Like, you do, but they just don't have the means or the funds to travel as much as, say, like the Germans and the Brits. And so this kind of interestingly goes back to a conversation I had with the Australians the other night in Portugue, is that faith tends to increase when you go through points of struggling in life and or with certain poverty levels. And there is a difference between the Catholics and the Protestants, but a lot of these poorer cultures are more connected to their Christian roots, and I think a lot of it has to do with income level. When you are struggling and going through points of suffering through your life, you tend to connect through faith. I'm at this point now with it being, God, is it day 12? I think it's day 12, yeah. And, you know, it's like, this has built up so much strength. It's like, I can't really cry anymore. I've done the grieving, I've done the crying, and I have faith that things will happen in the future. And so, you know, there's definitely some Germans who are religious and spiritual. I find Germans are very actually well connected to nature, and like the 3 Germans said, like Seattle is one of their favorite city in America. And my ex-husband and I hosted Germans in the past, especially younger 18, 19-year-old Germans who are coming on like fellowships, and they loved Seattle. And I think it's because of the nature, and Germans are very, very connected to nature and the land. I mean, all Europeans are. When I lived in Germany, I would see these like Polish, Eastern European women dressed completely, sorry, my arm's getting tired. They were dressed completely in like their boots, like some nylons, and a short skirt with their fur winter coat, or their winter coat with like a little fur around their head to keep them warm. And they're just, you know, enjoying a coffee or a beer and a cigarette outside in like 20-degree weather. And so they're tough people, you know, and it's their life. Like, you walk around in any European country and all these people have potted flowers at their restaurants and at their homes, on their balcony and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was like a cute, interesting conversation. I think I also had a point to this in my brain, which has now left me. It's my little Aquarian mind is always like 10 steps ahead of where my mouth is. And that's something I need to work on. But anyways, just a moment in time. I'm passing another mile marker. I'm 53.32 kilometers to Santiago, and I can't be that far off to Caldas. I gotta be at least near 5 miles at this point. All right, ciao, see you guys later, bye.